Welcome to Connect and Create, where we feature some of the great change makers of Pakistan. My name is Vceela, and today we have a very special guest with us, Ali Hamdani. Ali, could you please give a little introduction about yourself to our listeners?
Yeah, thank you so much, Farhan, for having me on your show. So yeah, basically, I am from media industry, but my specialty area is digital media. And even going further, my prime specialty is to use digital media for Pakistan's image building and image transformation. That's what I've been doing in the past 3, 4 years. My company is M Communications and Landmark, but otherwise my work is basically with the government of Pakistan. I've been working as uh, as an independent project, the Tourism Promotion Initiative. So yeah, basically my focus areas have been digital media, tourism promotion, Pakistan's image transformation. So yeah, basically these are my specialities.
That's really amazing what you do for Pakistan. I did view your social media profile and I was quite impressed by it. I also noticed that that you were verified.
So yeah, okay. So very honestly, one fine morning I woke up and there's a way. This is how it happens. So some of you might be thinking that there's a way around getting verified. There is probably one, but the legit way to get verified on Instagram is they have their own algorithm. So how it works is that Instagram algorithm checks for certain factors. Like number one, if your name features on different newspapers, publications. So I mean, if you're searchable on Google. Yeah. Secondly, how many number of verified accounts are following you? So I remember I just applied for verification one fine afternoon, and after 2 days, one fine morning, I see a pretty blue tick. It was a pleasant surprise. So yeah, this is my understanding about getting verified. Searchability on Google and the number of verified accounts that you already follow. Yeah.
I see. So would you say that it has nothing to do with how many followers you have?
Not at all. I mean, this is something where I'm so sure because as you are yourself, you can notice that there's so many influencers. At times, even their following runs in a million.
Right.
But then they're not verified. So I think verification is something else. It has to do more with your presence on news media and other people following you. Yeah. So not with the number of followers. For sure not.
Well, congratulations. How does it feel to have your account verified?
Now, I'm very used to that. The very first morning, I was very happy. I was so happy. I didn't know what to do. It took a while for me to let that sink in, and then I just maybe shared a story. But yeah, I mean, at times people make you realize about things which make you feel that they're important. So even now, after some time, their friend will find me on Instagram and say, "Oh, you are verified." And then basically they refresh the whole idea of being verified, and I feel, oh yeah, okay, that's important. It's a good feeling, and I'm hopefully the day you will get verified, you'll also be feeling those positive vibes. So yeah, it's good. It feels good for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about tourism because that is what you do essentially. So how do you think we could better it? I mean, Pakistan is already filled with natural beauty, but how do you think we could better the tourism?
So, okay, the tourism for all has basically two-pronged strategy, no matter which country you talk about, be it Thailand, Malaysia, or even Pakistan. First of all, you have to work on infrastructure development and your services. For example, you need to have roads, you need to have proper infrastructure, you need to have like basic public amenities like washrooms and then food and everything. That is given. At the same time, equally important is your perception management. Because, I mean, there's so many places that I have visited around the world. When I saw those places on social media, the pictures were too good.
Mhm.
But when I actually visited those places, they were like, I said, okay, I mean, it's good, but not that. But what attracted me towards those places was basically the whole marketing campaign, the whole branding campaign.
I
So,
see.
I mean, for a country to have successful, developing, thriving tourism industry, it needs to treat itself like a brand where you basically build a story which is larger than life, more than reality.
I like that.
I mean, it shouldn't be far away. I mean, it shouldn't be too far from reality. It needs to have a promise. It needs to have a certain niche. You need to know your customers. So
Absolutely.
it's like any other product basically. So yeah, Pakistan needs to focus on that. For the longest, for the past 70 years, unfortunately, the way you said, very rightfully said, that Pakistan has potential, we have beauty, we have culture, we have everything. But till the time you focus on that, you treat tourism as an industry, you can't prosper. So basically, in the last 3 years, fortunately, I've witnessed it myself. That this recent government, uh, because of the prime minister himself, he's very keen on tourism. He's a traveler himself, basically. So he has put that emphasis on tourism, and you're seeing all these changes happening, like visas being getting relaxed, and then so many influencers coming in, and the number of footfall prior to COVID was increasing. So yeah, things are moving in the right direction. A bit late, I would say. Maybe 70 years is a bit late, but still, I mean, it's happening finally. I can see it happening for myself.
Very true. And also, I feel that local tourism also adds value.
Oh, it does. It does. I mean, tourism has is the only industry, in my opinion, which at the same time brings you foreign exchange, brings you employment, uplifts your rural areas, and then at the same time improves your global image. There's no other industry which can simultaneously do for you. I mean, like you can maybe earn a lot of billions of dollars from textile, but then it ends there. But tourism is the only industry which will bring you dollars, which will bring you good name, which will, it does everything for you. So that's important. And tourism, as you just rightly said, the domestic tourism, it's very helpful for a country like Pakistan, where mostly the population is concentrated in the rural areas. And at the same time, our tourism is also in the rural areas, like in the north, in South Punjab, in the far-flung areas, still in Balochistan. So, I mean, if we support tourism industry and the people go there, spend, the local people will be the biggest beneficiaries of this whole tourism initiative. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
So, what do you think are the biggest challenges that we face? Talking about the development.
Well, yeah, for sure. So you see, the biggest challenges for us, number one, is that we need to have a parallel approach. Like what when I see at times that amongst the tourism industry stakeholders, there's a debate going on that, oh, first of all, we need to work on the infrastructure, improving our services, and then we need to market ourselves. So, like, I believe that they need to work on both simultaneously. That the infrastructure development will take time. At the same time, for example, if you start promoting Pakistan now, it's not that you start a campaign now and day after tomorrow the people will come and start knocking, oh, we want to come to Pakistan. It will also take some time. So we need to work on both simultaneously, number one. Secondly, uh, we need to have a consistent approach. It's not possible that we are bullish on tourism for maybe few months and then we just abandon the whole ship after that. The countries like Thailand, I mean, I have been fortunate that I've been linked with the tourism departments of these different countries, which are global tourism superpowers like Thailand, Malaysia. If you talk to those people, they started their whole initiatives 40, 50 years ago, and they've been consistent with that. They never gave up. So we don't need to give up. We just need to be consistent, just keep on doing the same drill again and again, and only then it will bring sustainable results to Pakistan.
That's quite interesting. It seems like you've been all over the world. How many places have you visited?
I don't have a count, to be very honest. Mm, maybe more than 25 countries, something like that. But I don't have a count.
Is that on your bucket list to travel the world?
I don't see that happening, to be honest, Prayal, because the kind of life that I'm living here doesn't allow me too much time to travel. I do make a point prior to COVID and even otherwise that I travel maybe twice a year. I take a vacation and I do travel. But I think either I need to live maybe 100 years to travel the whole world with this frequency, or maybe if I ever have a midlife crisis and I just pack up my bags and start traveling. So these are only two options. But yeah, there are places that I really need to visit. I want to visit like Machu Picchu one day, and I really want to visit Kenya. I haven't been to Kenya. I want to be in Masai Mara and take those safaris. And yeah, there are a few places on the bucket list. But let's see. Let's see. What is my end count? Rome, by far, has been the most amazing place that I have visited in my life. It's like a living museum. It's like you are existing in a museum around you. I mean, if you look at the architecture, so Rome has been the only city, I'm talking about internationally,
Yeah.
where the pictures have been an understatement. Like what you see on pictures, the reality is even more beautiful than the pictures or what you see on media. So yeah, I've really enjoyed my time in Rome. And then being a traveler myself, I love road trips. I love taking those long road trips. Uh, so yeah, America has been an amazing country for that because then there's these long stretch of roads, those vintage retro road trips. So yeah, I've enjoyed being on the Pacific Coast Highway, which runs from San Diego all the way till the Canada border in the US. So I've taken that road trip twice. That is a life changing experience because throughout that journey, you cross the entire horizontal stretch of the US, and there's a Pacific Ocean on your left side and the beautiful mountains of California on your right.
That's
And there's no connectivity throughout the most of the trip. That's the best part. It's amazing. So yeah, that and Rome, I would certainly pick from my travel diaries.
I have also noticed that many people, the reason why they don't visit Pakistan is because they feel that it is unsafe to do so. What are your thoughts on that?
You see, there's a very interesting question. This is the question which is very close to my heart. And this is one biggest perception issue that people have about Pakistan. I'll just take a few minutes of your time. First of all, uh, the security issue about Pakistan was an issue, but not now. Till a certain time, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, Pakistan had these security problems. But as of now, I can say with assurance and with my own experience and knowledge that things have become quite stable here. I mean, if you look at the recent years, there have been not major incidents, and especially if you talk about tourist-related incidents, there are hardly any. I mean, if data is any yardstick, I mean, if you look at other countries like, I mean, for that matter, India or Thailand, and even for that matter, US, there are much more tourist related incidents, even if you take it as a percentage of the tourist total number. So the Pakistan generally has not have any tourist related incidents in recent years. Number one. Secondly, I mean, I have seen it from my own experience. I have hosted people here in Pakistan, the travelers, the YouTubers, the content creators. And we have taken trips without any kind of government. Our people are very this whole concept of free food. This was very unique for us. That people were visiting streets for food with me. Most of our street vendors did not get money from them, which is, I believe, is a huge gesture. This is something which comes from our DNA when we are very hospitable people to begin with.
Absolutely.
So I believe the security situation as of now is not a problem, but the perception of security is a problem. So I would repeat, the security situation is not an issue, but the perception is an issue. So yeah, that's my take on that.
So, you mentioned that you're also very interested in digital media. Have you ever thought of starting your own YouTube channel?
It's a very interesting question. So yeah, Fred, I think all of us have different roles to play in the industry. Some of us are facilitators, some of us are creators. So my role basically, and we need to be very specialized in our roles and be focused on that. So my role basically is I'm not a creator, I'm a facilitator. So I support the content. I let other people make content. I support them in their content basically. So yeah, so my role is basically facilitator. So people ask me questions that you feature in the content and you feature in the other people's YouTube videos. Why don't you make it yourself? So my take on that is that I'm very clear in my mind that what is my role. My role is to facilitate people. And in that role, if I start creating content myself, I will be one of the creators. Then I cannot help the way I've been helping so many other people grow and make their content. So yeah, I don't think I will be anytime soon creating my own YouTube channel. Even on my Instagram, the last picture I posted, it was 7 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm not encouraging that. By the way, the people who are watching, you should definitely create. By all means, you should be posting very regularly. And by the way, for you to grow on social media, I mean, most of you might already know that you need to post regularly. This is the way how the algorithms work. You should be posting quality content, but you need to be posting that consistently. So don't, I'm not an inspiration for you at all when it comes to creating content.
As long as you're verified on Instagram, you don't really have to worry about consistency.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you help content creators with their YouTube. How do you do that?
Okay, so yeah, I'll tell you. So basically, how it started was that 3 years ago in 2017, this was a random thought in my mind because I've been from tourism industry for the past 10 years. And I always used to think that why do we not get tourists to Pakistan? And we have stability, we have food, we have culture, we have everything. So why not tourists are coming to Pakistan? And then I was always an avid YouTube enthusiast. I used to watch all these content creators, YouTubers from all over the world making food vlogs and whatnot. And I always used to cringe, why don't they come to Pakistan? So I started spamming emails to different YouTubers. Why don't you come to Pakistan? I can host you. And nobody responded for good 6 months or a year. Nobody would reply to my email. I would again send them emails that, hey, a reminder, why not Pakistan? Come on, you need to visit us. So one fine morning, I got a reply from a gentleman called Mark Means. And Mark Means happens to be the biggest YouTuber in the travel and tourism category, basically. So the guy replied, he said, yeah, okay, so I'm interested, I want to come. I was like, wow. So I started from there. So he came to Pakistan, I hosted him here. I took him around for 2 weeks. We traveled all over the Pakistan and created content. The series went viral. The videos were shared by the Prime Minister himself. And this was the first time when a big international content creator came to Pakistan and created content. And I also at times call Mark Means the Columbus of Pakistan because he kind of discovered Pakistan for the international world. The way America was always there, but Columbus discovered. So Mark, through his content, basically showed Pakistan, showed the international world the real face of Pakistan. So my initiative of helping YouTubers and creators started from there. So I got an inspiration from that success that I should be hosting more people. So, but after that, it became really easy for me because I reached out to Mark. But after that, Alhamdulillah, people started reaching out to me because then they saw, oh, Mark Means is in Pakistan and he's being hosted by Ali. So then they started reaching out to me that they want to come to Pakistan if I could help them. Then after that, Eva, you must probably have seen her content, Eva Zubat and Food Ranger and Mark Means, Khalid Allah, different YouTubers and content creators over the last 3 years, like almost 95%, if not 100%, have been invited, hosted by myself in Pakistan. So yeah, I predominantly work with international creators for a reason, for a very specific reason, because my purpose is to showcase at the global level, the image of Pakistan, the real image of Pakistan. So for that, I need to collaborate and I need to work with these international creators, basically. So, but otherwise, I also support the local creators whenever international creators visit, and I cannot accompany them. I make sure that these local YouTubers and influencers, I link them up with international creators so they can travel together and create content. So yeah, this is how I help different content creators.
That is really amazing what you do for Pakistan.
Thank you, friend. Thank you so much.
Is there any advice, any messages you'd like to give to our listeners who watched today's episode?
First of all, two messages, not just one, two messages. First of all, about Pakistan. You see, I mean, this has become a cliche that what has this country given us? Uh, but we need to think what we can give back, number one. So you look at me, I'm just one individual. At times, even one person can make lots of difference. I had no experience whatsoever in digital media prior to 2017. I just had a dream. I stayed committed. I worked on that, and it gave me some results. So I mean, at your own level, at your individual levels, try to contribute to society. Try giving back to the community, and all of you will be making difference at your own levels. And secondly, my second advice to all of you is to listen to your intuition. Always listen to your heart. I mean, at times life takes big decisions, big risks for you, and you should take them, because the real success, the real player of life lies beyond those risks. So, never be afraid of taking risks, calculated risks, and always listen to your heart and your intuitions, because mostly it's right. And yeah, that's it. And what else? God bless you all, you, Frayal, and your viewers.
That is the perfect advice. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and wisdom with everyone.
Thank you so much, Frayal. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure talking to you. And thank you for listening to this podcast. And stay tuned for the next one. Thank you very much.